On August 18 each year, Australians commemorate Vietnam Veterans Day on the anniversary of the Battle of Long Tan, fought in 1966. This year marked the 60th anniversary of the heroic battle. It is a day when we remember the sacrifices of those who died and say thank you to the almost 60,000 Australians who served in Vietnam during a decade of conflict between 1962 and 1972. About 3,000 Australians were wounded during the war and 524 died during their service in Vietnam or as a result of that service. The Mildura RSL Sub-Branch held its annual Vietnam Veterans Day commemoration at the Vietnam Memorial in 7th Street, which was held in cold, wintry conditions with rain tumbling down as the speeches were delivered.
Today we are gathered here to remember and honour 60,000 men and women who served during the Vietnam War, and to recognise the sacrifices that they made for our country. As a veteran of a more modern generation, I stand here with a deep sense of respect for those that come before us. The Vietnam veterans served in a very different time. Many were young men and women who left their families, their homes, and everything familiar to them to serve their country. They faced the uncertainty, the hardship, and the danger of war, and many come home carrying wounds that were not always visible. For some, coming home was not the welcome that they deserved. Instead of being met with understanding and gratitude, many Vietnam veterans faced criticism, misunderstanding and silence. But time has taught us better. Today, we recognise that whatever our views are on the conflict itself, we must never confuse the politics of war with the service of those who are sent to fight it.
Today on Vietnam Veterans Day, we pause to remember one of the most significant moments in Australia's military history, the Battle of Long Tan. 60 years ago, on the 18th of August 1966, in a rubber plantation near the village of Long Tan in South Vietnam, 108 Australian soldiers from Delta Company, 6th Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment, found themselves surrounded by a much larger and hostile enemy force. Outnumbered and under relentless attack, they fought with extraordinary courage, determination and discipline. As the battle raged, heavy monsoonal rain reduced visibility, communications became difficult, and ammunition began to run dangerously low. Yet the soldiers held their ground. They relied on one another, on the skill of their commanders, and on the unwavering support of the artillery crews who provided accurate fire despite the conditions. Their resilience under immense pressure became a defining example of courage in the face of overwhelming odds. The battle lasted several long hours. When it was over, 18 Australians had lost their life and many more were wounded. Their sacrifice and the sacrifice of those who served in Vietnam remains an enduring part of our nation's story.
Following the service, I spoke with Mildura RSL President Brad McGlashan.
With the anniversary coming on, made it a bit more important this year that we get numbers down here. With the weather, it sort of made it a bit more of an impact for Vietnam Veterans Day. And it was good to see the turnout we got with the rain.
Sun City News also spoke to Mildura RSL Sub-Branch Manager of Veteran Services, Paul Mensch, whose responsibilities include organising the Vietnam Veterans Day commemoration.
I think being the 60th anniversary of the Battle of Long Tan, really made it a poignant an occasion, and it was great to see the community and so many veterans turn out today to show their support for what is a very solemn day.
The Battle of Long Tan will go down in military history as one of the most extraordinary displays of courage and determination by a relative handful of Australian soldiers fighting against an enemy force 20 times their size.
The odds that those young Australians faced, when you're talking about 108 young Australians facing over 1,000 of the enemy, to fight them for hours and hours and hours, and to survive and repel that force was just superhuman.
The Mildura RSL Sub-Branch always organises the most solemn and respectful events in Mildura, whether it be Vietnam Veterans Day, Remembrance Day on November 11, or the annual Anzac Day Dawn Service, War Grave Service at Nichols Point Cemetery, and the Anzac Day March and commemorative service at Henderson Park Cenotaph. It is always a seamless operation. John Dooley, Sun City News.
Sun City.
Join us every Thursday night for the Footy Super Show. I'm Will Callow, your host, and my co-host,
Sam Kerridge.
Get amongst it. Come and listen to us talk all things local football, netball, and we might even have a few break sessions about how good I was and how good you still are, Sam.
Or how good I used to be. Certainly watched up now, but no, very excited. Looking forward to providing you guys with everything SFNL football, netball, and hopefully taking a few laughs and taking the mickey out of a few people along the way.
Sun City Streaming thanks our wonderful sponsors for their generous support for our community YouTube channel and Sun City local news. Tesco Inland Petroleum, Ray White Mildura, Chemist Warehouse Mildura, and Fisher Developments.